Hello, welcome to the 4th day of October 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation, a morning exercise that I do every day around 5:30 a.m. to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone, which you can read for free at goingalone.org. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with any noteworthy challenges or opportunities that I met. I go over the objectives of my creed and one of the principles, and then I prepare for the coming day. But first, a hello to the new subscribers on my channel. It's good to have you here. Brief intro, my name is Kurt. I'm a 61-year-old retired American living here in the Japanese countryside with my Japanese wife, Yumiko. We have a grown daughter, Emily, who's living her best life out in the Tokyo area. I do 2 reliable videos every day. One is this video, which is a personal journal entry. The other is the Retiring in Japan daily upload, which is a set of snapshots of the day as it unfolds. Plus I throw out lots of little shorts and other videos in other brands, Walking in Japan, Real Japan Monsters, Abandoned Japan, etc. throughout the day. So pretty reliable stream of content coming every day. This is a personal journal entry, this video. So as such, I am at liberty to talk about whatever I want for as much time as I want and in any way that I want. You can watch and leave comments or criticisms as you see fit. I won't read or respond to those until the end though. I do talk about sensitive subjects like death, so be forewarned that that may come up. Other subjects too might come up that make people a little bit unsettled sometimes. And a huge thank you to those of you who watch my videos, and especially to my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters. Your support means a lot to me, especially now, beginning in October, when I'm going to begin to spend more and more of my time out and about being a full-time YouTuber. So that's going to be interesting. I warned my wife this week, or last night, that I might not be around for lunch during the week. I'm going to be out and about in the community now that the days are cooler, spending my days experiencing Japan and sharing it on YouTube, and as such I might be out having lunch. And your support helping me to buy that lunch means a lot. All right, let's get started. First, let's look at yesterday's notes. Just one simple note from yesterday regarding challenges and opportunities and sometimes atmospheric things, and that's what this is, a day of floating. Well, the floating refers to the sensation that's arrived. I'm going into my 11th month of retirement. Really, this floating began around the 6th month, where I started to feel less, like when you first retire, it's like suddenly, you've been very busy. Let's say you had a job where you assembled something all day long, like an assembly line. And then one day the assembly line stops, or maybe the last widget that you need to assemble passes by and there's no more, just an empty conveyor belt. Well, your hands feel a little bit, I need to be doing something with it, right? And it feels like that for quite a few months after retirement. This like lack of whatever it was, this inertia of work. That wears off, and you're left with kind of what I call a floating feeling. And floating, it first kind of came now and then, hit and miss, and then it began to arrive in earnest. And what has become very interesting in the last couple of months is the way that there's this kind of a peace that attends the floating, and a sense of control over things. Like, I know that the world can be bad, be hard. I know that it can have its horror. Hashtag life will not go well. Hashtag the horror show. When I refer to the hashtag and mention something, I'm talking about principles and objectives from my book. Life will not go well and the horror show are 2 of the principles within the book. So I know that even though more and more life feels like floating, life will not go well, and the horror show awaits all of us. That said, my attendance to the floating seems more natural and easy and less contrived each and every week as I proceed through retirement. It's a very good thing. And another reason why I think it's a good thing to retire as soon as possible, to enjoy some more years of the good years before our health begins to fail, before the mind begins to fall away, and our freedom is tempered perhaps with the cold frost of the coming winter. So yesterday was just a day of floating. I had a really nice day with Yumiko. The details are largely unimportant, but we had a lot of fun. It was a Friday that felt like a Saturday when we had the world to ourselves. Let's go over my creed now. My 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions relative to my creed, to do just one thing at a time and do that thing slowly, deliberately, and carefully, to recognize my true limits and my true opportunities. I got those backwards, didn't I? And finally, to keep my balance, which is more and more becoming just a natural part of things. Let's read principle number 1 from the book, the principle of war. Oh, there's a little bit of a rain coming down. The book is wet. There are 8 objectives and 35 principles in my Good Life Creed. Principle number the objectives are what I'm seeking after. The principles are the tools that I use along the way. The principle of war. I rise each morning taking arms first against my own philosophy and beliefs, and secondly against the philosophy and beliefs of others. I will suffer no unsound or unjust objective or principle to survive my honest, reasoned critique, no matter the consequence to my sense of peace, comfort, or abiding worldview. I will equally yield to the warfare of another against my precious truths, and when these are shown to be unsound or dishonest in any way. The principle of war suggests that my first aim in life should be the identification, dismantling, and disposal of any part of my worldview that can be shown to be untrue or unsound. Untrue means basically it doesn't work. It doesn't match the world. Unsound means that it's hollow, maybe empty, and it's vacuous in its sense of being able to deliver any good results. Right? It may be true, but empty. Good and sound, true and usable, a good utility in some regard. Always at war against my own ideas, and against the ideas, first against my own ideas, and second against the ideas that others propose to me. It's important to keep that in order or in mind, because if I'm first and foremost fighting against my own ideas, then when someone presents an objection to my belief or my thoughts or my plans or my ideas that they can demonstrate with reasonable certitude that it's not true, I'll be grateful for their effort, not resenting the fact that someone shook up my world, but grateful for the fact that they helped to reveal where it is weak. Okay, as for today, well, it's going to be it's a Saturday. Today's an interesting day. It's it's our community's festival here in Japan. Every community will have its own little festival. How do you know what a community is? Well, in Japanese communities, typically there's a Shinto shrine. Shinto is the animist native religion of Japan, and so every village would have its own little Shinto shrine. So every community rallies around its shrine, comes together in the shrine parklands or grounds. Sometimes that's co-located with a school or a Buddhist temple or something like that, something that's got enough space. And we have a community festival. Today is the festival for Yara, the community where I live, the Valley of Tea. Typically this festival happens in the summer, but it's been too hot during the summer, so they moved it to the autumn. They call it the Aki Matsuri, the Fall Matsuri. It's today. Now, we might not actually have much of a festival because there's rain in the forecast, but if it's pleasant weather or if it's decent weather, then we should have some semblance of a festival. I'm looking forward to it. This will be my first time to attend this festival, as not in the active years of parenthood, when I would be there to watch my daughter and her friends frolic and play the taiko drums and get out my wallet to buy assorted snacks and things for my daughter. would be a very different affair to be it now as a member of the senior citizen group that are there just enjoying it under the auspices of our own beneficence. It's a good thing. That's how we live our lives all together now. It's a very good thing being a retired senior citizen. More and more, I'm coming to love it. All right, let's read comments now. Hello, Tim. Oh, did I forget to do the weather? Tim reminds me. Before I read your weather, Tim, it's 20 degrees and 72%. 20 degrees Celsius, 72%. Feeling pretty good. 20 degrees and 72%. Compared to yesterday, it's supposed to be cooler than yesterday. 20 degrees and 65%. So I guess the temperature is simply not going to rise that much. Feels very, very good. If heaven had a weather, if heaven had a temperature and humidity, I think this would just about be it. Let's hear about your weather and temp and humidity, Tim. Weather check for the UK at 9:41 p.m. is 14.6 C and 84%. Well, just not much off from me. A little cooler, a little more, a little less humid. Sounds pretty good. Getting pretty wild and windy here. Oh, stormy. Storm Amy due in the evening. Hang in there, Tim. I hope the garden hangs in there too. Hello, Michael Littlejohns. Hello, Evelyn. Good to see you. Evelyn welcomes everybody. Tim says hi to Evelyn. Elvina Barclay, good to see you again. Good afternoon and good evening, everyone. It's been a lovely warm day here in Toronto, Canada, as we get ready to start our weekend. Excellent. Marmighty says, good morning, Kurt, Tim, Michael, Elvina. Marmighty says, oh, good. PM depending where you are. Tim says, hello to Marmighty. Marmighty says, dealing with flooding north of Manchester in the UK. The river is very high due to the weather. So Hurricane Amy is coming through. Tim mentioned yesterday that I think you said that Scotland was getting the brunt of it, right? So I hope that you guys stay safe there in the greater United Kingdom. Well, believe it or not, I made it to the end of the comments. I made it to the end of my creed, only 12 minutes and 34 seconds in. That's okay, because I am going to edit some videos. Yesterday was a heck of a fun day. Yumiko and I were out. The Good Life, the Retiring in Japan video upload that I did is well over 40 minutes, chock full of good stuff, and I need to go through and clean up the videos before I start the day. So I'll use this extra time to do that. I may or may not go to radio exercise. I felt just a little dribble of brain. I'm kind of like one of those guys that, this is another boon of retirement, like, oh my, do I really want to go do radio exercise this morning? Oh, I felt 3 drops, never mind. It's my prerogative, right? Marmighty says, good luck out there. Right back at you, Marmighty. And Sarah, hey Sarah, good to see you. I hope we can share some of the festival with you. Yes, definitely. I'll be recording the festival to add to today's episode of Retiring in Japan, which we'll upload tomorrow. I'm sure that the thumbnail for that one will be from the festival, assuming that we actually have it if the rain doesn't come down too hard. Tim says, fair weather, radio exercise, LOL, Tim. Oh yeah, so you're nudging me towards doing it. I probably will. Thanks for the nudge, Tim. Wish you all the best, everybody. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. And Julie, if you see this later, we missed you. We missed seeing you. Take care. You too, Okoyama Ray. And did we see Robert? Did Robert even show up this morning? That's very rare that Robert didn't make it. I talked to Robert yesterday. He joined me in my office hours on the Discord server. So we had a nice chat face to face. It's nice to be in the Discord server because I can actually talk to you guys and see you guys in face like a Zoom call. Feel free to come over every day, Monday through Friday. No Discord server office hour today because it's Saturday nor Sunday, but Monday through Friday I'm in there. Elvrina asks, Kurt, are there any places you haven't been to in Japan that you want to visit? Not really. And it's not because I've been to many places. I just don't really. I mean, I can't think of anything offhand. I used to think I wanted to go to Shikoku because it had a lot of wilderness, but more and more, Elvina, I've kind of lost my interest in in travel. Now, I'm sure that that will resurface in the years to come as I begin to enjoy more travel with my wife. I do want to get out and about and enjoy travel with my wife. I have essentially lost the interest in doing that on my own. It doesn't mean I won't go for long walks here in Shizuoka, or I won't go out to the mountains. It's kind of a different thing. But the idea of like, oh, I want to go to Sapporo and see Hokkaido, and yeah, I don't really care to do it anymore. And I remember hearing old people warn about that. They would say, if you want to go someplace and you want to do something, do it when you're young. And it's not because they said you might not be able to do it when you're older. They said you might not want to do it when you're older. And that's definitely the case with me. You two have a great day, Tim. You two have a great day as well, Sarah. Evelyn, you have a wonderful day as well. Bye-bye, everybody. Be safe, but not too safe. Oh, one last thing. If you're still there, Evelyn, check out, I did another, the latest post, the deconstruction of the blog post. You know, in the blog, deconstruction of the social media post and the blog post. I think I figured out the formatting so that it reads a little better. I would love to get your feedback if you have a chance to tomorrow. Bye-bye.